The Austrian hills ring in the first of 2 European rounds for the FF1600 Open Series. Red Bull Ring is gonna be fast and furious for these drivers as they fly up and down the hills and tackle the very tight 90-degree-esque turns throughout. Expect a lot of slipstreaming and a lot of dive bombs and possibly a lot of track limits. This place is a little bit notorious. Drivers are getting their qualifying lap done, and I'm scrambling to make sure all my stuff works in place. So, you know, hitting my buttons, making sure everything is right. We got a big field, we got a 3.4k SLF for it. The risk of rain was present, but instead we've been blessed with the dry. Been a few wet races this week, and drivers have hated them. This car not really slowing down appropriately, but some got their wish and some quite didn't. Only one lap on the board, Eric Van Spijker, but these are going to start speeding up very, very quickly indeed. Graham Grory, Huntlader, Brand Fraser, Williamson, our number 1 car this week in the good old Iron Brew car. Cash is here, Tufts is here. We'll have championship standings as of next week. There's a ton of brand new names on the field. There's a lot of exciting drivers that hopefully will produce a clean or interesting race. 3 splits, I believe, we got today. Even David Whitehouse has snuck again into the top split. And Josh Ladd's Smurf account. Josh N. Ladd. As ever, series brought to you by FILMBIL.NO. Check out their domain if you're in the Scandinavia region looking for any services to do with car filming for any television or movie production. They have it all covered and they're leaders in the space. Now, I'm not mad or bitter today because I wrecked out of the Lotus 79 Grand Prix Tour with 2 laps to go in P3 because a tyre barrier was badly placed at Spa. I'm still not bitter and mad about that at all. I'm totally over it. And bringing it up is evidence enough that I'm over it. So don't expect to hear from me about that car ever again. It's a great car, fantastic car, but we're going to need some time separated, I think. This relationship's going to need a bit of a pause. These things happen. These things happen. Hopefully this race will bring me less to be upset about. That's the dream for us all. Hearing these individual cars going around quite quietly. Wonder how loud of a grid this is going to be. So far, our fastest is Daniel Tufts, but the gaps are tiny up front. Cash and Williamson within thousandths of a second. Tufts locks in a new fastest lap. That's going to put that to bed. It was 3 thousandths between Cash. Now it's 3 tenths. Matthew Joseph Graham probably having some fun at the end of 2 qualifying laps. I would hope so. George Palazzi, one of the last drivers to set a lap. I think this is the design that like painters use to see how the panels fit together. You can design your car by it's like a template, but someone's just decided to bring it into the race. This is George Palazzi. Slowest on the grid so far, but corner exits are everything here. And this could be a good improvement. David Whitehouse seems to have not set a qualifying lap in time. This is one of our last drivers. He slows down before the line. I think he may have just gotten an off-track. Off-tracks here are brutal, and they strike hard. This is one of those tracks where disqualification could be looming with 20 minutes around this circuit. It certainly is a bit of a sterile one to watch on board, I'll be honest. It's hard to really sell. You think, is it just straight lines? Well, it's really a track designed for Formula 1 and downforce. But I do figure that these cars will probably race quite well around here. Some ridiculously tight quali laps, and I'm pretty sure everybody is done and locked in. So with that, I'll just get the starting grid up as the drivers start getting to grid. We do have actually a new pole lap from Josh Ladd. And it is exactly the same as Daniel Tuff's down to the thousandths. Where are my 10,000ths? Where did that one come from? Some of these things we'll never understand. Josh Ladd and Daniel Tuffs down to the thousandth on the front row. Behind him, Chris Cash and Fraser Williamson. Eric Van Spiker and Matthew Joseph Graham. Behind him, Nato Brown and Deanna Farwell. Graham Gory Hunt sits ninth, and the session transition's about to destroy my everything. It really did just destroy my everything. iRacing needs to stop doing that, you know? I'll recount the rest of the grid as soon as I can. We have just behind him Graham Gory Hunt, Nick Aronson, Jeffrey Messer, Jeff Richardson, Andrea Bellotti, Bob Peakman, George Palozzi, and David Whitehouse on the back of the grid. Session transitions are dodgy, man. Can't trust them. Can't trust them. But we do indeed have our starting lineup right there. So all is recovered at the end of the day. I'm having as many technical issues as those in Bahrain had. So it's not just them. You know, it happens to all of us on every single day of the week. I'm not aware of Josh Ladd's reputation, but to know that a Smurf is putting a time on the front row means I probably should. William Sim Racing driver. Well, that explains things. 1 second in all 15 of the drivers on the grid. And possibly some coordination worth pointing out. Ladd, Graham, and Palozzi might be in a chat together. Thank you very much, David Whitehouse. Even when you can't be in the booth with me, you can be basically feeding me the information. Only Josh Ladd left to grid. And then we have a starting lineup. 20 minutes of this track should be about 12 laps. Kind of slow laps around here, but there's going to be aggression and haste off the line. All drivers are locked in. And we go green. Pretty good launch by Ladd. It's going to get him off the line first, but plenty going too wide further behind. That's a big move from Deanna Farwell. Trying to duck in outside, but it looks like that's Ladd's P1. Bit more side-by-side action further behind, but he's already flying away with it. Fraser Williamson, I'm looking on the rear end of Christopher Cash. Slipstream's going to be big here behind. We're almost 3 wide. The 2-car on the outside. Outbraking and dive bombing is going to be the name of the day, but it is strange to see cars go this slow around the track indeed. Off Ladd goes. He's ready to run it. Immense pace. And that's a big dive from Graham. I think he just snuck past Williamson. Gets him wide. That's a good overtake. Now Williamson looking to try and do it again. Not quite enough room on the inside line. Drivers certainly keeping it composed and clean. For our first lap, a bit of gravel gets kicked off there. That looks like Jeff Richardson going wide and a few other tyres just dipping. I see Chris Cash possibly next to make a run. Big track limits there on the exit of that turn. iRacing won't give you a time penalty, but with 17 X's in the time limit, you're going to have to keep it careful and certainly keep contact out of the game. Still, cleanly run. Still, drivers not quite making the craziest of moves. The very, very wide track. Without many sweepers, with a lot of slow stop and start corners. I don't think we'll see too many rapid incidents. That's another dive from Graham. He's making aggressive moves on the inside of corners. I don't know if he has the exit speed, though, to convert. Side by side with Cash. Cash currently ahead. But Graham will have the inside again, and he may use this to outbrake. Oh, I thought there'd be some prediction issues around there. They're not quite materializing. Graham flies up again. And Tufts has caught up to Lad, so there's certainly no running away. We're running a train all the way to the end here. Very few drivers truly off this pack. We see further back, really is a separation there in front of Jeff Richardson between him and Graham Rory Hunt. The one tries to do it again. Cash is flying down the order here. He's taken again now by Fraser Williamson. He's going to have to start making some moves soon and make these places back, so we can see the separation up ahead. Tufts almost makes it the P1, not quite. Back in line. And I'm seeing these incident counts rack up. I don't get the full count, but I'm certainly seeing the numbers line up. Deanna Farwell sets the fastest lap at 1:49.0, right as Tufts is ready to go side by side. Almost getting sent 3 wide. Graham is going to do it. And Tufts is left out to dry. And not only is he left out to dry, but I don't think Lad saw that one coming. Kuro's too wide. And Matthew Joseph Graham is fast. He wants to make up the demons from a slower qualifying by his standards. Pushing Lad wide. Set up the one. Williamson on the inside now. It's a swarm of bees. There's space for a fourth. It could have been Tufts causing it. Not quite this time. That's Cash very wide. He's still losing out on distance and places. There's no end to the lead changes here. Matthew Joseph Graham has flown out. We're still 3 wide. This time he keeps it well to the inside, not using all the pace available that might give the centre car of Josh Ladd. The outside run. Behind, I see Nato Brown side by side with Farwell. Look at this pack run. There is no separation. And every place is trading with every lap. That's our first incident. That's Jeff Richardson around. And that's a few drivers claimed, unfortunately. Oh, it was all going to end somewhere. Let's keep an eye on how Jeff Richardson did it. Pelosi has required repairs. Richardson runs into the back of the car ahead. Only a few sent out. Unfortunately, that rejoin sent him into the way of Pelosi. Not going to be happy about that. The race is still on up front. 3 wide again. Huge send by Graham. That's not going to be good on exit. He's lost position after position, as outbraking can only send you so far. He'll be back, but that wasn't quite the run he wanted. Now Williamson has the inside line. Gets back into the single file. No one's working together at all here. It is relentless from start to finish. And it's 9 cars to my count in this group. What is iRacing so quiet today for? It's the cameras are so far away. These little Ford engines aren't even Fords anymore. Graham's ready to do it again. And Farwell really tries to move. Graham is doing it again. And it's a good send into P1. Over the bumps there goes Nato Brown. Just about keeps the car under him. You know Fraser wants to send it free, and he'll do it on the outside. He has the better run. Drivers are taking every run they will get. But he's very, very wide. Inside's donated back to the 11, and there's contact. Enough to slow him down, so here comes Spiker. Certainly not out of this chase at all. He's now claimed up the P3. It's an absolute swarm, and that's 2 cars around. Hunt caught by Jeffrey Messer, I believe. Now, it was Farwell that went around. The pressure in these corners, it's leading to mistakes. And more drivers dropping off. If it kicks off up front, that's when this ends ugly. There is room for 4, but a big block by Graham there onto the outside line. It covers up Williamson. He's on board with Spiker's car. You can see how wide these drivers are running through the first turn. And they're just trading it back and forth. There's no semblance here of a true breakaway. Every lead change is so precipitated by someone else taking it back. It's almost hard to corner lap to lap. Was there enough space for the 9 there? Not quite. He backs out of it. Tuff seems to be running slow. Spiker might take it. For some reason, he doesn't have that straight line speed on him. Big dive to the inside by Graham. This time he makes it stick and keeps it on the track. Still no exit speed. Graham is just playing these outbreak games. I'm not sure it's panning out. Drivers on the chat now saying they want to work together. Could have been drivers further back in the road. That is from the pack behind, as I hear we can catch them back up. That is from the pack behind. Lad up the inside. These 3 are going to send it free every chance they can get. And this will be the drag race of all drag races. But that is in 6 laps' time. We're halfway. Of course, we're looking at this top 3 making their moves, but everybody down to the 12th car of Jeffrey Messer could either take advantage of an error or be horribly caught. 3 wide, 2 rows back. They're showing the respect for each other to make it work. And every corner is just sort of a melee for every inch of track position. Car after car after car, the whole way down the road. 3 wide again into another turn. What else is new? Tell me it's not true. Graham's gone away just a little bit. For a lap or 2 is now Ladd and Williamson. Waste each other's time. He who can get the greatest run and escape will claim the rewards. Here's Spiker's car again from the nose cam. It's a very unique track for these cars. It really is testing them. Unlike anything else I've seen. Most tracks you'll want to use to slip and carry speed, but here you just want to be with that pack in the right time, in the right place. A huge swing from the 9. He's wobbling, and he's saved it all in one go. That had to have been scary. How did he unsettle it quite that bad? This is a way to send it. Oh, he has to make evasive action there as Graham makes a little reactionary move. That sends the car out, and that was almost and all she wrote. Incredible work to save that car together, but all of that Constantina movement has led Spiker's pack to fall well back. 1.5 seconds, they look like they're right there, but I think they all checked up in response. And that's all she wrote for that chase. It's not all over. Now it's all over for plenty of them, though. Mesa, Spiker, and Brown. Spiker has a meatball. That indeed is spicy. Where does it all happen? We're ending the free car. From that point, everyone just has to play evasive action. There's a number of them caught there. That's Bellotti caught. That's Beckman tagged a little. It'll be interesting finding out what happened to Tufts. Here's a replay of Daniel Tufts. He was actually caught out a little bit earlier. I only just spotted that. Here is Daniel Tufts. It was on lap 8. And it's a bit of a turn-in on the 2, set backwards. And I think it just got worse. I think it just exploded. You might have seen it on the timing tower if you didn't. But this free wide is about to become... This is the beginning of the end. A little bit of bumpers. The wheels are inside each other. And that's our top 3 white. Here's it all kicking off. Oh, there's no space in the middle. None's being given on the right there. There's no space being given on the right. And the cars are just bumping off each other like jelly. I'm amazed the 11 got away with that, but Lad hasn't. Cash is DQ'd on the back of that. The car contact finally pushing him over the line, and I knew DQs were coming. Here's the DQ moment for Cash. So much is kicked off here. Wait, where was that? I swear I went to go replay Chris Cash and I'm just losing it. Here it is. Chris Cash's free car. Maybe another small cut height was that incident, wasn't it? That incident was enough to take him out of the race. It turned into a bloodbath. I think fingers are going to be pointing 3 ways. That's where his car went. And another DQ for Bob Beekman. So much to watch. Here's Beekman's car. He hasn't really been much a part of this, but he was tagged in a bit of a contact or two, and I think running off the track is going to get him abducted by Nimcross and the iRacing gods. There it is. See ya. Wait for it. There it is. See ya. So who are the victims? Cash, Richardson, Pelosi's out, Aronson's out, Beekman's out. Not some of those aren't completely out, but they're very far behind. They're out of contention. Ladd pushed all the way back. And Fraser Williamson's running away with it. David Whitehouse, after all of this, has just dodged incidents left, right, and centre. Where's Whitehouse when you need him? I think he's going to want to talk a little bit after this race about how we ended up here. Here's a pass for P2 from Whitehouse. Chose not to qualify. I think he's just been out of enough stuff. He may have been one of those voices earlier asking for moderation to help catch up Maybe he saw some of it coming. There's still a chase for second. Graham Glory Hunt at the back of it all. And my mate Belotti's recovered. Even Tough sort of isn't miles off now. With only a couple laps to go. It's all blown up and exploded. Graham has to consider himself lucky. He's been one of the only top drivers not totally wiped out. Maybe not as lucky as Williamson, though, who has 2 laps to go to claim a win here. 3 wide again. Graham's driving like he did. Trying to really seize those inside apexes. Even talks of moving under braking now from the field. We started happy, and I think we've ended in tears. One lap to go, and this battle for P3 isn't going to end. I hear brake smoke, a big lockup from Whitehouse. That's Joseph Graham DQ'd. Was there contact here? Or was it the off track? I heard a big brake lockup. Car contact there takes him out of the race. It was on 14 when it happened. And this now locks him out. Drivers going around still. Gory Hunt's out. Belotti's out. Tufts is out. No way! This can't be happening. I used to be good at this job. I feel like I've lost the plot, lost the marbles, lost my ability to do this. Does anyone want to talk to me after this race? One, two, three. All 3 cars going over the incident limit. And at the end of it all, let's just talk about our winner. Fraser Williamson runs away from the pack, runs away from the trauma and damage. 6 cars disqualified today. David Whitehouse finishes second with Nato Brown in third. Messer's able to finish. Oh, no. Do we need to do full incident review? Do we need to do full? We're going to do full incident review here. We're going to have to go back in time. There's just too much to talk about. I'm even nice and I'll give you far chase cam. All right, that's like a treat. Back to lap 4, 1 step at a time, okay? Jeff Richardson, we're looking at. He'll go into Nick Aronson. Just one of those days we need to, like, break it all down. We'll get to your favorite incident in time. I don't like that rejoin. That's all I've said. Jeff Richardson does it again. Another incident. This one will cause him a meatball flag. This is what you pay for, people. The damage, I just think he's not happy to continue going with the damage he's got, and he toes to the pits. Then, at lap 5, it's Deanna Farwell and Graham Rory Hunt. This was a spin that led to another collection. Sends it a bit deep and spins. I don't think Rory Hunt has anywhere to go or anticipate that one. Now, we're upping the intensity and the madness of these contacts, yeah. So, if you didn't see your favourite one, that's okay, because we'll get there. Nado Brown on lap 8. They're talking out in my ear. They're talking out every incident in my ear right now. Love that save up ahead. Love that save up ahead. That's what triggers the break off from the pack, actually. It's the free car. Send me back to the free car here. This is what caused the break off from the pack. I thought that brilliant save from Lad where he just flies left, right, left, right. But actually it's here. Tufts gives a little unsettling to Cash. Doesn't end their races, but it does lead them off the pack. And here's Daniel Tufts. Again on lap 8. Probably only a couple corners later, to be honest. They're going 3 wide up ahead. There is a car on his inside there. There is a car on his inside. This was dry, people. This was dry. All right. What would we have gotten with a wet race? Who knows? Here's Eric Van Spiker. Just a turn later. And that's a big collection from the rear. That wipes out a few. Is this Van Spiker again? I think this is the same one. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. 3 meatball flags given out for this one. And it is the same one. Even I lose track. 3 meatball flags from that incident. Spiker, Beekman, and Farwell all collected. Then we go explosive. Christopher Cash on lap 9 is going to get disqualified here. There's very little space for the car in the middle. It squeezes tight, and Lad isn't able to stay. That's the collection for the both of them. And Cash, you see the camera go black. That is the incident limit going over the count. Let's look at Lad's perspective. That's going to cause all the talk in the world. Rory Hunt recovers. Beekman's disqualification probably just comes off a lot of off tracks. He was tagged in that incident. He did take some damage on a meatball flag, and then the final corner here of the Red Bull Ring. So easy to go wide here. The track limits there is a rule to them, but you don't want to follow them. Away he goes. Matthew Joseph Graham on Andrea Bellotti. It's another 3 wide down this straight. Sends it in deep. And that's really minor. In any other race, that's just sort of contact that no one would have any problem with. But the collection of incidents up to there just sent him over the line. Then another 3-way. Daniel Tufts, Bellotti, and Hunt will take it this time. This is going to be really hard to catch properly. So all 3 cars are going to disappear from our vision very quickly. It all starts with that car in the middle, doesn't it? It starts with Bellotti. It's not Bellotti, it's the Renault car. Starts with the Renault car. That would be Rory Hunt's. Let's go on the far chase, even though this is going to cause cars to disappear. Little bit of a clip, and all three take another contact. And that's all she wrote. Who wants to talk to me? David Whitehouse is one of the few people who probably had something good to say about that day. Hey, David, you're one of the few people that probably has anything good to say about that race. What a journey. How did you... I know staying safe is part of it, but how else did you make it up to P2? Was it just strictly everything else happening?
Yes, pretty much. I fell back, and I think it was Graham. I fell back with Bob at first, and Bob was defending. It was more like Bob thought the whole race was a defence, and I thought, here we go, we're going to drop off the back of the pack. But then all of a sudden, Graham came back, and Belotti came back, and we're slowly catching the group in front because they're fighting 4 wide. And then it was just literally accident avoidance simulator.
Well, I think almost every lead driver had something horrible happen to them as the off-tracks combined with the car contacts made it difficult. How were the off-tracks for you? I can catch your incident count now. I can now judge you and rate you, but that was the other factor that was in your control, of course.
Yeah, I didn't really have... I got 6 in the end, which wasn't too bad in the overall scheme of things. I think only Fraser got less. So from the back of the grid, I can't complain. Didn't qualify, and just, I mean, I'm lucky. I've watched these people race. Josh Ladd, George Plotzy, and Matthew Graham. I've raced in real life as well. I know their driving styles and stuff. So it's that kind of help knowing that they would fight tooth and nail for every corner.
Well, you came into today not expecting a single bit of that, and I think you've come out with a miracle beyond all your expectations, and a whole lot of points for it. Do you have any shout-outs or thank yous before we end the show? Because I think I've got to decompress my head. It's been a bit of a wild one.
Yeah, it would be a wild one. Just thanks to you for the broadcast, and obviously the sponsors, FILMBIL, and obviously I will always say thank you to Beatrice, who introduced me to this in the first place and got the soft race up and running in the first place. So yeah, that's all my thank yous.
I have heard that she's heard back that iRacing definitely intend on doing this for another season, so we'll be back and around for as long as it takes. Thank you very much for the race. We hope to maybe see you up again one day soon.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't think I'll beat my 127 iRating game, though.
We take those. Well. I told you I came out from possibly like the most traumatic iRacing race of my life. Nothing. What is 90 minutes but to wreck yourself on the last lap? But then to walk into others probably having an even worse day is truly a journey. I don't know if that was a joy or whether that was a burden. Drivers are talking it out now, and they're going to continue to do so for some time. Until then, next week we're at Not Kill, because nothing bad happened there last time, right? Nothing bad happened there last time whatsoever. I unfortunately kid, but I hope to see you same time on the channel as ever. I've been Howie Burrows, wishing you a great week. A better week than what some of those drivers just had.